Hello everybody, welcome to your live watch along of Chelsea versus Leeds United in the Premier League. Hopefully we can go and get the 3 points away at Ellen Road today and keep up with the chasing pack of Spurs, Man City and Arsenal.
Up so that Allison and James can get into the game. But for Chelsea, you know,
so we just got to keep going.
All about getting Sterling.
That's all Chelsea can do, and hopefully we're going to get the right result today.
Very hard game for Leeds. Very difficult afternoon, and
it's not going to be easy, but we're going to give it our best.
It's going to be a hell of a game.
It's sounding good at Ellen Road. Your commentary team for the afternoon: Don Goodman and Bill Leslie.
Thanks, Kenny, and that is the sound of a special and spiky rivalry embroidered into the
Come on, Chelsea!
of English football. Two unbeaten Premier League starts on the line here for a fixture that is still as evocative.
Come on, boys, let's go and get the job done today.
Modern Premier League ambition with a side of full-blooded tradition. Ellen Road in fine voice this Sunday lunchtime in the sunshine.
Give you the teams. This is the Chelsea team: Mendy, James, Silva, Koulibaly, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Gallagher, Cucurella, Mount Havertz and Sterling. On the benches: Kepa, Ampadu, Azpilicueta, Chalobah, Chilwell, Chukwuemeka, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic and Ziyech. That's your team to play Leeds. And this is your Leeds United team to play Chelsea today, folks.
So Rodrigo, with 3 goals in the first 2 games, will lead the line for Leeds. So no Patrick Bamford or Liam Cooper, neither risk today, though Joe Gelhardt is back after missing the trip to St Mary's. Thomas Tuchel is here for Chelsea and on the touchline despite the Spurs shenanigans a week ago. Edouard Mendy in the Chelsea goal as per usual. The back three the same as started at Stamford Bridge last week, so Reece James remains part of it. Ruben Loftus-Cheek reprising his wing-back role then, although injuries to N'Golo Conte and Mateo Kovacic do leave Chelsea a little short in the centre. That means the first ever Chelsea start for Conor Gallagher. And Chelsea do revert to the template they started with at Everton on day 1. Raheem Sterling might be asked to play as a false 9 again as he seeks his first goal for the club. Ethan Ampadu wasn't even given a squad number initially by Chelsea this season, but he is named among their substitutes today, along with £20 million teenager Carney Chukwuemeka, who appears on a Chelsea team sheet for the first time. So much to look forward to in this one. Don Goodman.
Come on, Chelsea.
Jack Harrison has started the season for Leeds as well as any.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player whose progress I've watched from the Championship through to the Premier League. I mean, he's such a creative force, and also when Leeds don't have the ball, works as hard as anybody you're likely to see. Absolutely outstanding. As for Chelsea, Mark Cucurella, people said it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money, but I believe that he'll prove to be worth every penny. First saw him playing for Spain under-21s, and I was very, very impressed. Obviously, we all saw what he did at Brighton last season. Leeds shown vulnerability down the sides on occasion this season. He will definitely look to exploit that.
Well, it could be lively down there in the technical areas today. 2 managers who both have a touch of the pugnacious about them at times. Jesse Marsh has already locked arms with Bruno Lage this season. Thomas Tuchel, fresh from his fracas with Antonio Conte, although the ban hasn't yet kicked in. Stuart Atwell has been given this game to oversee, fresh from overseeing Manchester United's capitulation at Brentford last weekend. Just about ready to go. Time to welcome you on Sky Sports main event. If you have just turned your attentions from the 7-side derby, we are here at Ellen Road for Leeds against Chelsea. West Yorkshire against West London. 2 sides who started pretty well neck and neck after 2 Premier League games, both with 4 points. Both with
Game is underway, folks. Leeds United versus Chelsea. Let's go.
With history. And although Teams are very different from yesteryear. It's good to see Leeds all in white and Chelsea all in blue. And Don, as someone who grew up in this neck of the woods, you go back to that early cup final in the 1970s, Chopper Harris and Norman Hunter and all that. It's got a real alluring appeal to it, this game, hasn't it?
What Chelsea?
Always has.
Oh, go on, Sterling.
Sterling on the front foot for Chelsea. Might just
Go on.
open up for Raheem Sterling. It does.
Oh!
That's wide.
Well, it's brilliant.
Oh, it's like 40 seconds. Do we want them up?
Pace. And the passing and movement is exceptional. Really onside, but as a Leeds defender, you can't afford to let him inside onto that right foot. They've got away with one here, Leeds. Have to try and push him on the outside. Just doesn't quite get the bend.
Who opened his account in sensational style for Chelsea and give them the lead against Spurs last weekend.
Come on, Chelsea.
Frustration, of course, there were the way that Chelsea failed to hold on and see the job through. The fact that the big decision at the end didn't go their way. But listening to Thomas Tuchel speak in the week, Don, he was full of pride and actually felt that the performance showed him that in many ways they're ahead of schedule as to where he thought they would be at this stage as he undertakes this rebuild they have at the start of this season.
And that's precisely it. It is a rebuild. Thomas Tuchel should be pleased with the way they've started the season. Okay, it wasn't all plain sailing against Everton. That's a little bit of creative spark, but I thought they were outstanding last week. I'll be pleased with that performance.
Oh, lucky Gallagher. Go on, Koulibaly.
Koulibaly was so composed on the ball. Slotted in seamlessly. The experienced Senegalese international to the Premier League. Attacked by Reece James. A chance to clear here for Chelsea.
You know what you're going to get from Leeds. And that is high energy, high pressing. They won the ball back beautifully in that midfield area.
Well, last season was about firefighting and life-saving for Jesse Marsh and Leeds. This could be a bit more about team building, putting his stamp on the side, and he's certainly done that.
He did what he needed to do, didn't he? At the end of last season.
Come on,
he only
boys.
12 games, then he
Could have
lost
scored
three.
inside 40 seconds and the bottom.
A bit more structured,
only 3 minutes played.
harder to score.
Made a great more chances like that.
Making goals for absolute fun, really. And you can't get away with that at this level.
Aronson moving himself into a shooting position. And James flowering over for Leeds. He was involved in the thick of it here last season, wasn't he, Dan James? A really nasty challenge, actually, on Mateo Kovacic. No question about the red card.
It's easy when you can hear this atmosphere. It's been very easy to get swept up in it and carried away. And James certainly did that in this fixture last May.
Conor Gallagher's getting no time on the ball in the centre there for Chelsea. Aronson. Another American in now, Adams. This is Jack Harrison now for Leeds.
Well on, Mendy.
It's been a really bright start to the match, actually. For the neutral, Sterling already had a chance. Leeds, again, displaying that high energy. There's no time out there for those Chelsea midfielders.
Gallagher.
That's a foul.
To Havertz and Sterling, who appears to have started out on this left-hand side for Chelsea. Finding gaps again.
Go on!
Mount.
Go on, Ray!
Loftus-Cheek.
Off his cheek! Oh!
White shirts there, the block. Chelsea have the corner.
He's simply got to get the shot off. He put his hands to his face when the attempt got blocked, because he knows if he takes it first time, he's got a path to that Leeds United goal. The minute he has a touch, it's always going to be closed down.
Come on, we just started well, but we just need to get a goal.
I don't think that Koulibaly will be afforded as much space as he was against Tottenham last week from the corner. Silva's made the near post dart. Back in by Conor Gallagher. Rasmus Christensen out. Cucurella didn't get that quite as he would have hoped.
5 minutes fairly flown by. Brilliant tempo, opportunities, shots at both ends.
Come on, boys.
Well, Leeds actually behind inside 5 minutes on day one here in their previous home match against Wolves. They were behind inside 5 minutes when Chelsea came here in May as well. Stuart, well, needs to decide exactly what that challenge merits from Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
My first impression is it's one of those that looks a little bit worse than it actually is. Jesse Marsh and Thomas Tuchel down below us, exchanging words already. It's a fulsome challenge. It's about when a ball bounces like that between two players, one is going to get there first and there is going to be a collision. As I said, I think it probably looks a little bit worse than it actually was.
Well, Michael Salisbury is the fourth official. He'll have a busy afternoon, you would suspect. And the VAR booth today is Paul Tierney. Well, we know that the bar is higher this season. It was certainly too high for Thomas Tuchel's liking last weekend, but he'll be pleased that Ruben Loftus-Cheek has escaped with just a telling off there.
Come on, boys. Oh, lucky.
Cucurella. For Sterling to go. Aronson. This tactical tweak that's been forced on Leeds United with the absence of Patrick Bamford. Aronson, who in the first couple of games started out wide, is playing more centrally. Dan James on this right-hand side with Harrison on the left, Rodrigo through the middle. It's one of the enduring questions actually early on this season at Leeds, who will fill the breach in the absence of Bamford, who was able to start the first two games.
Well, good about it.
Who of course has been asked to play that role in the past under Jesse Marsh and before him under Marcelo Bielsa. Harrison beyond Loftus-Cheek.
Good save, Mendy.
Both gloves on it. Christensen. Mount. Gave Chelsea the lead here very early on last year.
Come on, Chelsea.
Too sprightly for Kalidou Koulibaly, and that will be a yellow card for sure.
Yeah, he gets turned way too easily here, Koulibaly. If Stuart had a choice to make with Ruben Loftus-Cheek one, he has absolutely no choice here. He has to give him a yellow card. Maybe it's not the worst yellow card he'll ever be given, because it was a promising situation for Leeds United.
10 years the senior of the lively American Brendan Aronson. And Jack Harrison, as you highlighted earlier, Don, who started the season so well for Leeds. To deliver, Reece James got his head to it.
Come on, boys.
I have to say, I was expecting this game to be slightly different. I was expecting Chelsea to dominate the ball, but there you have it. In the early stages of this game, Leeds have got off to a brilliant start. Sometimes possession can be misleading, but they have enjoyed some decent territory.
They've enjoyed a decent start to the season, actually. They started well last week and then failed to hold on to that two-goal lead. Jesse Marsh holding his hand up and admitting that he might have made more changes earlier on to hold on to that lead. And coming from behind here against Wolves on day one, showing character and creativity, something they struggled to do throughout last season. So the signs are promising. I think, Don, when you look at the formations and the fact that last season, for example, when Chelsea came in, Jesse Marsh, Leeds matching them up, This time, looking to make Chelsea
Go
dance to
Reece.
their own tune.
Early encouragement for Leeds United. With and without the ball, they're putting Chelsea under an awful lot of pressure here. Certainly not allowing Chelsea to settle on the ball. These are the areas now. Leeds will be aggressive in their pressing once they feel the moment is right. There you go.
Stepping right onto him, not giving him any time at all. It's Dan James who took it away from him that time.
Leeds United 4, Chelsea 1. You're jesting.
Gallagher out to Loftus-Cheek.
Come on, Chelsea. Come on, lads.
Heart in the mouth for a second there because it was those same two players that have already had one collision. Strike, sprinting across.
Adams. Wilson. A bit of fortune there. He's trying to make the most of it.
Come on, boys.
Coutinho to tidy
Just
up
keep
in front of that
passing the
side.
ball. Keep doing. Is that just trying to create something?
Panic Chelsea. I would have expected Leeds to be right at it from the first minute. You only have to walk in with that atmosphere before kick-off.
Proper
Go on, Havertz.
Here's
Offside.
Havertz.
Ah.
There's a judge to have caught offside.
Looking all the way across, but he never quite gets himself back on side. By Havertz. This time we've mentioned him really, as I say, Leeds United starting really brightly, making it hard for Leeds, tackling, intercepting. It's been an outstanding start from the home team.
Well done, Mendy.
By Cucurella, but it's beaten to it by Christensen.
We just need to keep plowing along, but at the moment, 0-0. 30 minutes played.
79 Premier League goals he conceded last season. Milan Melier. Don't need to scrape too deep to see where the majority of their problems lie.
Makes it even worse, doesn't it, when you think of how brilliant he was. He had a fantastic season, the young goalkeeper. Faced the most shots.
Come on, Gels.
Strange, they had a decent season here actually, behind closed doors as they returned to the Premier League after that long absence. Leeds, when the fans returned last year, I think we all expected them to kick on, but just those 4 wins here, 3 of them coming against sides that went on to be relegated.
I just wonder whether or not it was coincidence. You know, again, were Leeds United an example of that second season syndrome that we
Oh,
speak
come
about
on.
so much?
Go on, Sterling.
Himself onside. It's a tight one. Sterling.
Yes! Finally! Oh, you absolute git! Ah! Sterling.
I think we're going to find that Raheem Sterling has just strayed into an offside position. See there, good work in the middle of that defence.
Oh.
Steps up, and that's what catches Raheem Sterling offside. But after that, Leeds have to take notice. They've been served a warning there.
He's going to get his goal eventually. Raheem Sterling's going to get his first goal eventually.
Opening 15 minutes or so here. One wide, one narrowly offside.
That was the finish that he wanted on the previous one, wasn't it? Ironically.
Havertz, Mount through the middle.
Go on,
Sterling as
Chelsea.
well.
Oh, Mount.
Some there for Leeds. Spaniard Roca. Helped out by Harrison. 3 runners.
It's a shame the diagonal ball was on as well. He's got the ability, Harrison, to have delivered. It was brilliant
Come on,
movement
boys.
from Rodrigo.
It's been a fruitful combination this season. 2 of Rodrigo's 3 goals, assisted by Jack Harrison. Coached by Aronson. Here's Roca, recruited from Bayern Munich in the summer. Christensen, Aronson.
Come on, boys.
All the signs for Leeds and their new players is encouraging, isn't it, really? You know, you wondered how they'd cope with the loss of Calvin Phillips, Rafinha. They've spent their money wisely, it looks like.
For the most part, players that from his previous lives, Jesse Marsh knew well, known quantities. Mentioned 3 Leeds players who were most important to the side last season. You said Calvin Phillips, Rafinha and Patrick Bamford all absent here. 2 no longer at the club. One still seeking to recover fitness after a desperate run of injury last season. Touch and go, if you missed it earlier.
Come on, Chelsea.
Jesse Marsh as to whether he'd be involved today, given that effectively he's been out for a year and not taking any chances with him. Chelsea taking a bit of a chance by playing out and losing out. The Leeds fans enjoying that. Now, having won it back, can they create? Harrison's touch straight to Koulibaly, and the offside flag's up anyway.
Well, that's what I've got to be careful of, because Chelsea on the counter-attack have the players, the pace, the mobility to hurt Leeds United. But listen to that noise that you're hearing, it's all born from that high intensity press, winning the ball back.
Come on, boys. Doesn't it keep pressing, but we just can't seem to be doing anything?
Havertz. Mark's gone with him. And a Teutonic tussle.
Oh, lucky.
James. Loftus Cheek. That's from just open things up. Koulibaly. He's having his hands. He knows that a verbal volley's coming his way from Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, he got a verbal volley. Thomas Tuchel absolutely fuming. No words necessary.
Come on, you just need to create something, but we just can't seem to do it.
From James. It'll come to Rodrigo. No offside flag initially. The finish is wide anyway from the informed Spaniard.
Once again, he's happy with his team. Round of applause. A little bit of good fortune here as this ball ricochets forward, but look how quickly Rodrigo is onto it. I mean, the angle is always against him. Just pulls it a fraction. It's a decent enough effort.
We just start performing, but we just can't seem
Out
to.
of him, isn't he, Jesse Marsh, Rodrigo? It's not just this season as well. He seemed to enjoy the status given to him when Marsh came in to replace Marcelo Bielsa. 3 of the last 4 wins last season, Rodrigo scored in both games at the start of this.
Brilliant start to the season for him, hasn't it? 3 goals in your first 2 Premier League games. Doesn't really get much better than that.
We need to create and actually do something, but we've had chances, but we just can't take them.
I'm trying to read Thomas Tuchel's body language down below us here because his team keep getting caught, keep getting harassed.
Go on, Mount.
Havertz header onto Mason Mount, who usually enjoys himself against Leeds.
Oh!
Amelia can do all of his 6'6" frame to get down and turn that behind for a corner.
Okay.
I spoke about Chelsea on the counter-attack moments ago, didn't I? And this is what they can do to you in a flash. And that is a brilliant piece of goalkeeping. Milan Melier is at full stretch. It's a clever effort from Mason Mount.
Just about the halfway point of the first half, and Chelsea's first effort on target. And it's a corner, which Mount will take. Towering header by Robin Koch.
Oh!
Quite right.
Trying to do silly balls which don't work.
And he's been at the club since the age of 8, Conor Gallagher. Productive loan spells at West Bromwich Albion, where he was their Young Player of the Year, at Crystal Palace last season, where he really made people sit up and take notice. He's finally got his chance. First start, not just in the Premier League, but in any competition for Chelsea today.
He's got to be careful not to try too hard, because you can understand this is an opportunity, isn't it, for Conor Gallagher, having done so brilliantly well out on loan. His first opportunity, he's desperate to take it.
This home start to the season isn't getting any easier. They trail at home to Brighton. Alexis McAllister from the penalty spot. And Mount looks to have timed
Go on,
this
Mount.
really well. He's got Sterling in support. Christensen can tuck it away from the on-rushing Cucurella.
That's from the throw-in, you know. Mason Mount has got in behind that Leeds United defence. Have to be more switched on than that.
Havertz.
Ah!
Everything's rushed, isn't it, from the Chelsea perspective, apart from 2 or 3 pieces of excellence. You have to give Leeds United credit for that.
Last season, as we touched on already, was difficult for Leeds, particularly towards the end as they escaped on the final day with that win at Brentford. But don't forget, there have been plenty of highs in the Premier League for Leeds United. Preceded that since their return, but yet to get the better of Chelsea. 1 point from a possible 12 against them. 3 goals scored, 9 conceded in the 4 meetings, including the 3 here last season.
And the way they played, they were just easy meat for certainly the top 6 clubs. See that foul there, ongoing battle between those 2. That's something Jesse Marsh will hope he can change this season. That record against the top 6, played 12, lost 12, couldn't compete.
Stuart Atwell wants this retaken. Valley seeking Sterling.
Oh, Cucurella. Go on, that's a ball. Oh, lucky.
Llorente stole in head of the assembled blue shirts. Conor Gallagher now for Chelsea. His persistence has carved out a corner. He thought it had anyway. Goal kick is given to the delight of the sun-bathed Don Revy stand.
Like I say, one or two decisions he's making, maybe not the right ones. He was
How on earth did that not had a good start to the game? It just needs to be more at it.
quick enough support inside.
Just need.
Possession. It's more like what you would have expected prior to kickoff.
There was a little bit of a lead storm that Chelsea had to weather early on. Are they settling into something approaching a bit of a pattern?
Come on, Chelsea.
Off his cheek. Couple of highlights by Tyler Adams. Gallagher back in the nick of time. Chelsea can build down their left through Mark Cucurella. Offside position when that was played.
Just one or two signs, aren't they? Chelsea just starting to enjoy a little less pressure, a little less hot pressure.
Come on, Chelsea. We're just going to be at it, but we just don't seem to be getting anywhere.
Aronson. This wouldn't fall for him. The Valley could get involved, but it will be a corner for Leeds
Corner
United.
to Leeds.
It's always a good ball, isn't it? It's a good play to get it down the side of defences when they're playing with three centre halves. Space is there.
Let's see what happens after
In a sense, there's been a lot of work on the training ground on set pieces from Leeds United. They are looking more menacing from them this season under Jesse Marsh. This is their first this afternoon, just shy of the half-hour mark.
Aye. Yeah.
Aronson loops it in. It's a Leeds head on it. Over it goes. And Diego
From
Llorente.
this.
He's at full stretch, really. He's under pressure. Difficult for him to control this
I know, but
header.
nah, I'm just because of how we started this game. It's just made me not happy because I'm not happy with the performance so far.
Arsenal in the run-in last season.
If Sterling knew how to stay on side, we'd be 1-0 up in this game.
Harrison now for Leeds.
That's
Adams. Harrison.
yeah, that's the only bit that annoyed me. That he's had 2 goals ruled off, but they were just offside in 2 games.
Not many do that to Thiago Silva.
No, they certainly don't. Brilliant. Playing at the top of his confidence.
But
isn't he?
yeah, but the good thing about
Disappointed he didn't pick the
Sterling, he's willing to play up front for us.
Loftus Cheek and Mount. Looking to find Jonathan at Chelsea right. James eased unfairly out of the way by Rodrigo. Stuart Atwell saw it that way. Many inside the stadium did not.
Well, this is the kind of contact that referees have been allowing. In fact, Reece James is the one that steps across.
At the moment I'm happy with what we've got.
Really.
I'm happy with what we got because at least we got someone who's willing to play up front until at least we get a striker, and that's what he said.
Referees will be frightened to let go because Leeds were away, and the consequences of Stuart Atwell getting that wrong would have been high.
And we do have a striker, but the only problem is he's injured, and that is Amanda Brozier at the moment. So I think, but I just think he would have. I think he would have had a chance this game. I think. So at least we've had someone who knows about playing up front.
The pass was on a little earlier actually, but once again, from that angle, I'm not sure that's the right decision from Rodrigo to take the shot.
Why?
Losing out. And he's not able to cash in. "21 seasons now without a win for Leeds against Chelsea. I wonder whether this Sunday afternoon in West Yorkshire will end that run. Terry Venables, the last Leeds manager to get the better of his former club. James Milner, a 16-year-old, came off the bench to win it. Claudio Ranieri was the Chelsea manager then. Going back a long way in the Premier League years.
Absolutely. Well, first half an hour has been extremely promising. What it will also have done is it will have given these Leeds United players belief.
Well, Mendy's made a hammer, and Leeds United have the lead against Chelsea. Brendan Aronson with his first goal for Leeds United. What a noise, what a moment, what a howler for Edouard Mendy.
There are crazy decisions, and then there are, well, I'm not sure there's even a word for how it's beyond crazy that Edouard Mendy thinks that he can get away with taking his time, messing about, put your foot through the ball. It's brilliant from Brendan Aronson. He doesn't buy it. He almost reads what Mendy was trying to do, and it's as easy as you like. But you have to say the press from the first minute up to this point has been working a treat for Leeds United, and they have reaped a huge reward for that hard work.
Well, he's found a Thomas Tuchel tearing down the touchline. Jesse Marsh.
You can tell from my reaction that I'm not really saying it.
Inside here enjoyed that. He certainly did not.
I've got
I'm sure you've already done something
I've
similar
got
and got away with it earlier in the game.
literally. I'm gonna literally say nothing about it. That's why I've just stayed
Absolutely
silent.
brilliant goalkeeper, but he's just made a crazy decision.
And Aronson, who thought he'd scored here on day one against Wolves, but had that one taken away.
It could have just been the player rushing at him, think he could do what he's been doing most of the game, pass, get the ball to the side of him, but the player managed to stick a leg out.
More and more wound up.
Except if you're the best keeper in the world, you'll be able to do that and be able to get away with it.
And this ground was scored by Jermaine Pennant for Leeds in a 1-1 draw in 2003.
It's so unusual for Chelsea to concede in the first half.
Yeah. So much of the productiveness for Leeds at the end of last season came coming from behind. You think for that game against Norwich, the last time they actually took a lead here was against Southampton in April. But that
is within every Leeds United player. They can keep such high intensity for 90 minutes. A yellow card for simulation shown now, was it? No, it's gone Leeds United's way. Just outside the penalty area, Raheem Sterling's gone into the book.
And but the one thing I will say is that didn't look like a free kick by Sterling. Sterling didn't look like he even touched the player.
He's gone into the book.
But he doesn't even touch him. The player literally goes down with the littlest touch. So basically we just got done over by a foul that wasn't even a foul. That's not a foul.
And the Sterling confusion brings peace promise for Leeds United. Little debate between the
So basically, does every referee don't want Chelsea to actually win any games?
on the left foot. Reversal into the back of the Chelsea net. Rodrigo's at it again. Two goals in the space of a couple of magical minutes for Leeds United.
You know what it says now? We need Aubameyang, and desperately and quick.
It's all about the movement, it's all about the delivery, and then can
But
you get the
yeah.
right kind of contact, you bet your life.
I.
Striker, full of
But
confidence, believe in every chance.
But you
he
want to know what the
gets.
problem?
He's gonna
You know what the
find
problem is with us trying to get a striker is that Barcelona saying that they want cash, not the player, and because we've got to put the player into it, we can't get Aubameyang.
It's that double act again for Leeds United.
So basically, we're not.
Harrison assists.
So for us not getting a striker would be because Barcelona said they don't want the player that they've said they wanted all transfer window.
The fourth Leeds United player.
So basically, Barcelona's going to be the reason we don't get a striker this window. But also, in caveat to that, they will not get Kunde registered.
Just with the goals.
Yeah.
I think overall, his team a bit sloppy. People will not forget Leeds United were in this position last weekend and didn't see the job through.
That was never a free kick in the first place.
Just over 4
Oh,
between those two goals. Well, the first half just turned on half-time.
Goalkeeping coach is Hilario.
Give them a sniff before then. Chelsea, of course, will have other ideas. Mount with the corner. Havertz head up. Koulibaly keeping it in. Sterling.
Yeah, but it was second choice keeper.
Away by James. Absolutely spot on. It's all about getting to half-time with a 2-goal cushion now for Leeds United. Loftus-Cheek.
Go on. Go on. Oh, you twat.
Never looked quite settled and skewed it wide.
Ah.
I think he gets caught in two minds here, Cucurella. It's brilliant from Loftus-Cheek. Pulls it back into an area. He's quick to react, Mark Cucurella, but does he put his foot through it with the laces, or does he try and pass it? He tried to pass it, and it was coming too quick to him for that.
Yeah, that's one. The second one we can say we got done over because that was never a foul. The player. He already did it twice before.
Chelsea not altogether convincing on the road on day one at Everton. It was Abdoulaye Doucouré's momentary lapse of reason that gifted them the penalty.
But if there's any team that can come come back. We're one of them because we've been 2-0 down before and we've managed to do it.
Absolutely
is. Down to the way Leeds United have delivered on the game plan, really.
But he'll say not to blame him because we haven't got any other keeper that can replace him if he said he's going to drop him or something. We got no one else. I'd rather go and have an academy keeper on the actual pitch instead of him. He's worse for mistakes. That guy made more mistakes than anyone else. No. But I'm not real. If we go and lose 2-0, I'm not going to take it as be all and end all, but due to the fact that it's literally only 4 games in. If this was a game that literally cost us top 4 or league or a trophy or something, I would be more annoyed. But it's only 4 games in.
Again, it's that scenario where momentum can't stop himself.
That's the only reason my views were a little bit different, just because of it's early. That's it.
They must like what they've seen. I mean, look at the spread out of that touch map. He has been everywhere. He highlights when he's touched the ball, but it's work he's done when they haven't had the ball as well. And he's reaped the rewards for that hard work.
I would be more annoyed because if it's at the end of the season and it costs us at least top 4, a title or a trophy, I'll be more annoyed. But because in the league at the moment we've only played 4 games, it's
close behind was Mark Rocker. I hope he's going to be able to continue.
it would, but it'll be a slightly I think it'll be slightly the same as you, but slightly the same as what I'm thinking. It's saying it's still early days. What one defeat is not going to be the end. Yeah, the end all.
Of 6:30.
Yeah, so it's.
Is okay. Walcott wanted to come back on, but it's being held back for now. Sterling. Block is restored. Correa denied. Another challenge from Tyler Adams. Chelsea corner. From Mason Mount, struck away. James. Sterling trying to thread it through, but Adams read his intent. Touch wasn't short. Rodrigo, goodness me, he's fired up. And the crowd not far behind him. Once again, the work rate is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? And it's dispossessed. Leeds in no mood to surrender what they hold, as they did 7 days ago. 6 days ago. Loftus-Cheek. And the pen struck. Done well so far, haven't they? Pointed out pre-game that there have been occasions where Leeds United have looked a little vulnerable in those wide defensive areas, but certainly the 2 full-backs stuck to the task here this afternoon. And we go to 2 added minutes. Sterling Jorginho.
Oh, I can literally tell you right here, right now.
Loftus-Cheek.
On our, yeah. On our bench is Aspilicueta, Chalobah, Ampadu, Chile, Chukwuemeka, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Ziyech. So literally we got no attacking players on the bench.
Loftus-Cheek.
It's a,
James couldn't take it with him.
I'll take the time here. Leeds United. I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that Chelsea dressing room at half-time. There's lots of work to be done.
Arthur Hines in the 1933-34 season, Mick Jones in the 68-69 season, and Patrick Bamford a couple of seasons ago. Now Rodrigo in season 22-23. Leeds United players to score in the first 4 games of a top division season. First 3 games, I should say. There's Aronson.
that's the one thing I don't think's spot on, that Gallagher's not even done well, and he's but it's only his.
Fortunate there, Mason Mount couldn't gather that ball.
Leeds United exactly where they want to be against Chelsea at half-time. Aronson capitalising on...
Half-time 2-0 Leeds.
Edouard Mendy to give Leeds the lead, and within 5 minutes they were 2 ahead. Rodrigo at it again. His 4th goal
Because you got to figure out, when we have been playing like this, we have brought a Ziyech and a Pulisic on, and that's made like a difference. Because it did, yeah.
Never afraid to get stuck in.
Because the one thing is, the only reason I would put Ziyech on is because you want to get balls into the box, and we're not doing enough of that, and Ziyech can do that.
Told over 1 season, you can make it from cage football to pro football.
Whatever happens, I've just got to take my shot.
This fool with a bazooka straight up nukes the whip, hails it gently, straight up bounced it.
These two weirdos punch each other. Oh, oh! She struts her stuff and strips
But one thing you got to learn, Leeds have been like in this position before, and they've thrown it away.
Straight off the roof, all flying squirrel. Now that's one hell of a takedown.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Nothing.
Saints Row. Pre-order now at Game.
You ready for your ambassador training?
I'm ready.
What the heck is all that banging?
£2 million in our September draws. Where did you win with?
Neighbours.
Join in with
Yeah.
your neighbours before midnight this Thursday to play in our September draws.
Getting into your flow. It's all about how you start. Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar clears a path on your skin before the blades for
Yeah.
extra shaving and exfoliation in one stroke. Because when you start in flow, you're quicker to your best. Put your best face forward with the Gillette Labs range. Gillette, the best a man can get.
I want a lip gloss that can stay on whatever life throws.
Yeah.
Strong, healthy hair.
Slightly, even though I don't have what you have, you slightly know how I feel because of how my, but just a different part of the body. Like I'm with my leg out, it's some,
All-day protection now with wings, so I can handle.
yeah, because with me,
Women should be defined by actions, not cliches.
yeah, just at the moment, I'm deciding because usually I go down
The RAF.
at the end of the first half, but because of how we played, I don't think my dad's in the right mood, so I thought I might as well just stay out for a little bit. No, because that. So what I usually do instead is I do it via text because it makes it a lot better than not yet wait for a response and stuff like that. Because I can tell when he doesn't respond straight away because that means he's not impressed.
Drive electric. Kia. Movement that inspires.
No, I just think I know what it will be. It will just be the whole half in general. Even before we conceded, the whole first half's not been good. Even at 0-0. We weren't at the rate. But we are close to getting who we want that could help us. It's just that you got stupid idiots called. But what's annoying is we got a stupid club called Barcelona who is now making it hard for us because we've got you the money. Just take the money. Oh, well, because we brought a player into it, they're saying we're not going to take it. It's like mad. We used to, yeah. We used to have a what? Yeah. We used to have a keeper that used to do it all the time. His name was called Thibaut Courtois. But I think I can understand what he was doing. He was You seen in the other times he's had a play. What? Yeah, but the one thing that weirds me, because all the players are too far in front of him, he's wanting a player to come back that then he can do a short pass to, which I think he's waiting for, but nobody comes. But the one person who also deserves a bit of a telling off is Thiago Silva, because he put Mendy in that situation. And you know what's yeah. And you know, yeah. Yeah. He could have. Yeah. But I'm not. I must be the most weirdest person in the world that I'm disappointed, but I'm just a little bit thinking that we can do it. We're one of the, I'm not. If we do lose it, I'm not real. Yeah. Because for me, it's not him. It's going to be basically. Most fans are going to say it's not just him that's going to be blamed. It's going to be most of the team, because if they performed a lot better before this all happened, we wouldn't be in the situation. We weren't right from the very first minute. So, but Except for yeah.
Drive electric. Kia. Movement that inspires.
Yeah. I have no idea. Oh, so basically, we've just basically got to accept now that we've lost then. But the one thing is we can say we've been 2-0 down because we've done it in literally some of the biggest teams in the world, aka Barcelona 2012. We went and did it. So it shows that we can do it in one of the biggest teams in the world. We can do it at Leeds.
From 6:30. And then later in the week, it's Carabao Cup action. Already feels like quite a big game for Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa. They're at Bolton, round 2, 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Same time on Wednesday, Newcastle are back on Sky Sports. They're at Tranmere. Thomas Tuchel style
It's
Jesse Marsh as Leeds go
it's temporary suspended pending a written report into the reasons.
what they got in the second half.
Yeah, he's just waiting because they want to. Chelsea want an actual written reason to why he's been having this one touchline ban and stuff like that when Conte hasn't. Because a lot of fans have come out and said they're saying it's that the league just don't like Chelsea. Because how can two managers do exactly the same thing? One gets a punishment and the other one doesn't. It makes no sense.
Hour and a half to go until kick-off at St James's Park, where Manchester City, the champions, are the visitors as they look to continue their 100% start to the season against Newcastle. Next though, with Chelsea 2-0 down, they head into the second half at Elland Road. And your commentary team for this one, Don Goodman and Bill Leslie.
Well, the attack is on for Thomas Tuchel, the Chelsea head coach. No doubt the riot act has been read, but he hasn't made any half-time changes. So Chelsea in the second half will attack the Norman Hunter stand with the same 11 with which they started the match. Leeds United, needless to say, do not want to change a thing. 2-0 up, 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes. Aronson with his first for the club, and Rodrigo, who just can't stop scoring at the moment.
It was almost perfection, wasn't it, for Leeds United in that first half. It's to go down surely as one of the best halves of football they've played since getting back into the Premier League. They were outstanding.
And Chelsea haven't changed personnel, Don, but they have made a tactical tweak. Looks like a four, doesn't it? Conor Gallagher, a new position out on this right-hand side.
So they've now changed. They now changed something. Loftus-Cheek's now gone into the middle.
Through Aronson, Conor Gallagher will be trying to find those pockets of space between the defence and midfield, really, in order to try and hurt Leeds.
Because it turned out Loftus-Cheek's actually better in that position because he did last season for us and actually was better in that role.
For Chelsea.
When you look at the problems that Leeds have had this season, it has been in the full-back areas, particularly Pascal Struijk, who's not a left-back, really.
Are we afraid to shoot?
Stuart Dallas and the lack of meaningful reinforcements in that department mean that he has again been deployed there.
Don't give it to that guy. That guy can't shoot in the brothel.
Having Reece James, he's put Jack Harrison under pressure there, forced him back.
Chelsea go back to last season, usually find a way to score. The FA Cup final at 1-0 defeat at Everton. It's the only time in the last 20 or so games in all competitions they haven't scored. On the flip side, Leeds United in clean sheets at home. You have to go back a lot further than that. November 2021 against Crystal Palace.
That's a ball. Reece!
Shoot!
Shoot!
The scorer
Ah!
Tottenham last week. The layer off this time to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We've got a slice of luck.
Oh yes! Loftus-Cheek! Shoot! Mount! Shoot!
Cucurella
Ah!
on his right foot, and he swings it wide.
Jorginho was left fuming. Jorginho was the pass here. Once it breaks for Mason Mount. Look at the top of your screen. Jorginho wanted it. It's never quite across Mark Cucurella far enough.
But they're also saying in the build-up to it, they're saying that we should have had a foul.
Heavy landing. It's a big chance, really.
Yeah, because it was the foul on the youngster when he basically went on and tried to have a job on Gallagher.
Aronson and Rodrigo will get the headlines thus far anyway. He gets an honourable mention for his contribution.
No, I would imagine that would have happened. I just imagine that would happen because it's, you know what referees have been like against us.
James up and running at Chelsea, and Thiago. Harrison.
So basically, they do like the most littlest foul. They get given a free kick and go and score. a foul that we should, looks like we should have had, not been given, and we knew he go and score from it. But really, we should. If he plays it if he plays advantage, then. Oh, I know, really.
The presence of mind to know that Rodrigo is going to make that offer, make that run.
See, it's showing that referees are not. Chelsea not going to get everything this season more than any other team.
Enjoying what they're seeing. Applause for Jack Harrison as he goes across. Initial committee meeting between Harrison and Aronson. Llorente, Koch, Strauk, Christensen all wait in the middle. Off the head of Havertz. Thiago Silva. Llorente. James giving Sterling something to chase. 2 against 2 for Chelsea.
No, go on, Sterling.
Sterling finding Mason Mount.
Oh.
Straight into the back of Robin Koch. The next blue wave is led by Cucurella. Plenty of white shirts back now, though.
That's a foul.
Clipped by Christensen.
He's never offside.
They're offside anyway. They broke there, 2v2, and Sterling is on the ball. Your heart must have been in your mouth if you're a Leeds United fan, really. The way they got bodies back to protect the goal. Once again, very impressive.
So has every referee watched last week's game and decided, oh, we're going to be exactly the same and not give Chelsea anything?
Koulibaly. Mount finding a pocket of space. Cucurella. Back to Mason Mount. Jorginho.
I think originally he gave the foul.
Loftus Cheek. Conor Gallagher. Leg stays down. Elliott comes up. Flag goes up.
I think he'll be relieved, Conor Gallagher.
Please don't say Leeds have got a free kick.
It's around like a pinball here, doesn't it? It's a great awareness.
Oh, Gallagher's onside. Oh, ref! Oh, you enlightenment!
Just in the nick of time.
Gallagher,
It's another little indicator to Leeds United.
that Gallagher shot, he was clearly onside. So, in theoretical terms, we should have had a corner.
Jorginho penalised for that challenge on Tyler Adams. Yeah, it's all about the next goal, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
So it.
In terms of getting 3 points here, history doesn't give them much cause for optimism.
Well, it's hard to win games when you're 2-0 down, but I thought they'd have had more than just the 3 draws. That's the thing that sticks out to me there.
One that springs to mind when they came from 3 down at half-time against West Bromwich Albion, the Euro Club, Don. What was that, 2020-2021 season?
Sums Chelsea's performance up that, doesn't it? That challenge. It's scruffy, sloppy.
Leeds have been crisp, fully committed, clinical when the chances have come their way. Chelsea not so much so far.
It's only 4 games in. We don't need to get drastic. Not really, because the other one who's doing worse than us is Manchester United.
Knew he wasn't going to take a touch, didn't he?
Yeah.
those areas, aren't they now?
I know that.
They weren't really doing that in the first half, Chelsea.
And where are the goals going to come from for Chelsea? The forward line yet to chip in this season. So Reece James and Kalidou Koulibaly get on the score sheet last weekend. Jorginho from the penalty spot on day one. In fact, Chelsea's last 9 Premier League goals have all come from 9 different.
We got no striker.
Aronson, Leeds' first scorer this afternoon. Rodrigo in support. Christensen outside him. Jorginho wants the free kick and he's going to get it from referee Stuart Atwell.
Yeah, because how can they, and I'm always going to say this because it's just weird. Everyone's.
Rightly so. Be disciplined here. Leeds in.
But also, what makes it weird that they said they want to buy Alonso, we'll give you Alonso for one player, but then they go, no, we don't want Alonso now. What? Yeah.
Brilliant save from Ilan Meslier the first half from Mason Mount.
James.
I have no idea.
Will take advantage of the fact that Chelsea's defenders back off. They look to pick out Harrison and very nearly do so. Loftus-Cheek got back.
It's a good job he did. I mean, you can see the work ethic. Look at the right-hand side of your screen. Jack Harrison's desire. Look at that is a proper sprint to try and get on the end of a cross. Outstanding effort.
And if you missed that statistic that Kelly said at half-time, Leeds in the first half ran 6 kilometres more than Chelsea. It's almost a Bradford and back on.
Oh, what a great day.
Surprised it took you this long to get that from him.
Ah, what a great day, what a great day. This is going to be a shy day. It's all gone Pete Tong.
Always something to discuss between Leeds set-piece takers.
Now, because we got Chelsea losing, I've got Sheffield Eagles losing to Witness Vikings, and now Hearts losing to Celtic.
Conor Gallagher. Now they allow it. Playing the sweep up.
But I would, but
Scare reverted for Leeds.
yeah, but I already told you about a week ago before we even played Witness. I just said I expect us to lose. I expected because the last game that. Because I said that we play Witness, I went, oh no, we got Witness next. And that shows that I know we're not going to. Whoa! That just shows that.
The right type of finish to try.
Give you an update on the distance. Leeds work rate 9 kilometres more than Chelsea. They've now run as we approach the hour mark. A 2-0 lead, not a coincidence. They work for it. Can they hold on to it? No Koulibaly there to meet that like last week. It was Harrison who headed away.
But the difference is he's their best player, so that's understandable. If he's any other player on the pitch, he's shit. So you got Rodrigo who scored most of their goals, but most of their chances created have come through Harrison. But it's, if them two get injured, Leeds are buggered.
Switch of play, not quite playing out as Chelsea had hoped. Harrison. His persistence pays off. He's seen off 2 Chelsea players and found James. Now Rodrigo. Adams. From Aronson.
But the only problem is Barcelona are being twats about it.
pressure on the ball. It's such a glaringly obvious thing that we're
Yeah.
witnessing here.
It's been a fabulous hour of football for Leeds United against Chelsea. Havertz holding off Llorente.
But what makes it even worse, Kante's out for a month.
Finding Mount. Sterling outside him.
From this game now, he's out for a month. And let's check who we've actually got in that space of time.
Into this for Chelsea.
Let's go out what he's going to miss. So it'll be... And I can finally have some happiness because try Sheffield Eagles. Finally something for me to actually probably be happy about. And don't let him score, please. So today's day is the 20th, so Conte would be back this time next month. We play Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, Fulham. Here we go. This is the bad news. Including that time we play Liverpool.
Who perhaps hasn't featured as prominently this season as he would have hoped because of a knee injury picked up in pre-season against Crystal Palace. Comes off the bench for
There you
the
go.
second successive match.
The games that Kante's missing is Leicester at home, Southampton away, West Ham at home, Fulham away, and Liverpool at home. Out of all those games, most of them are winnable. Be the one that will get done over the most would be Liverpool at home. And then after that, it's the international break, and he'll be back in time after that for Crystal Palace at home on the October the 1st. So that means, or there could be a miracle that he could be back early, because we've seen that before with Kante.
Must be thinking about making changes.
He needs to do it.
Has to change. His team are going to get back in this game.
Chelsea have had 9 shots to Leeds' 10, 4 off target. We've only had 1 on target out of 9 shots.
Ziyech will be the first cab on the rank, and maybe Christian Pulisic as well. He's getting stripped and ready for action.
Oh, Christian Pulisic's coming on. So you predicted something. But you want to know what I think they should have done? Why did they not do it literally at half time? Then we got the whole 45 minutes. Yeah.
Christensen, who was criticised in some quarters in the first couple of games for not really picking up the pace of English football, but hasn't really missed a trick so far this afternoon, has he?
I think they've been outstanding every
Yep.
single one of them.
There's been a strong American flavour to proceedings so far. The American head coach seeing the American international scoring the first goal, Brandon Aronson, and now perhaps the most famous name in US soccer, Christian Pulisic, is going to come on and replace Conor Gallagher.
Well, Conor Gallagher's going off.
For Chelsea, not playing out as he would have hoped.
And Jorginho's gone off. What?
Ziyech on for Jorginho.
Is he on? So who's going in the Ziyech? Who's going in the Ziyech role? And now captain's Thiago Silva.
His energy, and they run with the ball, don't they? They commit defenders, but they've got to get the ball to them. Chelsea forward line largely starved of opportunities so far this afternoon.
interesting flavour to the Chelsea midfield now, for sure. It's Ruben Loftus-Cheek in there on his own. It's very attacking as Chelsea look to salvage something.
Oh!
Touch from Meslier, who ensures that Reece James doesn't come closer than you thought he did.
Well, once again, hasn't had much to do.
Oh, why? This is what's now annoyed me. Why does it have to take for us to bring Ziyech and Pulisic on and take Jorginho and Gallagher off for literally players now decide I'm going to have a shot? Because literally as soon as they come off, Reece James had that space and decided to have a pop. About 5 minutes ago, he wouldn't have done that. You know Wayne Rooney's having rubbish time at DC.
What have we got it in? Sort of 4-1-3-2 for Chelsea. Havertz and Sterling look to be up top.
You know DC United. You know DC United nil, Philadelphia Union 6.
As many forwards on as he dare, really. He's going to ask his defenders to be resilient.
Losing out. Goal kick.
Hey!
Chelsea with the fresh legs on. Leeds United have made that one change in the end.
The Eagles are winning, Ben John Bishop. What do we like? Chelsea, please score, please. Because then it can be a good couple of minutes.
He had his own criticism last week for the fact that he allowed that 2-goal lead to slip or didn't make the required changes at the required time, just as his changes helped engineer a comeback here to win against Wolves on day one. Fascinating final quarter to this contest.
That's the added ingredient, isn't it, that 5 substitutes has added and really can change the direction of the game from the bench.
The third Leeds United goal would surely make sure
Yoink.
the points are heading. It's a Harrison delivery. Sterling.
That's a foul on Sterling.
I was hoping that Stuart Atwell would see that favourably. I think that looked the correct decision.
Once again, Tyler Adams steps across, makes it really difficult for Raheem Sterling.
Forshaw snappier in the challenge than Hakim Ziyech.
What?
Pulisic. Pedigree of scoring against Leeds United. Reece James. Christensen there first. Flag up anyway against Chelsea. The Leeds back line springing its offside trap effectively once more.
Once again, too soon. The answer is yes. It's a good decision from the assistant referee.
Here's Dan James. Rodrigo! Finished off by Jack Harrison! The player who scored the goal to keep them in the Premier League last season. But surely scored the goal to seal a famous win against Chelsea here.
There's a couple of offsides that will be checked, but I think this is going to stand. Once again, they win the ball back off Chelsea and they spring forward in their numbers. It's brilliant, really. Dan James He's got options, look. 4 bodies arriving into the...
He's offside.
It's Rodrigo that makes the contact. It falls kindly, of course, for Jack.
He's offside.
But he has to react quickly, the Leeds United wide man.
Or it could be Cucurella, could be playing him onside, I don't know.
He's on the stretch, Harrison. Look at that. Outstanding goal from an outstanding player in a team that are having an outstanding match.
Well, the new Pals act has been reversed. Rodrigo assists, Harrison goal.
Yeah.
Whatever nerves there were around this wonderful stadium have been replaced by pure celebration, pure elation. Off comes Dan James. And on comes another of the new arrivals, the Colombian Luis Sinisterra for a home day.
Please don't say they go 4-0 up.
This is why we love the Premier League so much. This is why the Premier League is the most watched league in the world, because I don't think 99% of people could have possibly predicted what was going to happen this afternoon.
There's Sinisterra. No foul on Adams.
It's about a bit of pride for Chelsea. Come on, supporters. At the very least, they need from their boys is a good, strong final 20 minutes to this game.
Now they're enjoying themselves. Harrison again. Rushing, Rodrigo couldn't get there ahead of Cucurella. A significant touch he'd hoped for.
Talk about playing with confidence. I mean, they fancy a few more here, Leeds United. Once again, Harrison, the architect. On the stretch, Rodrigo.
Chelsea so known for their miserly away defence under Thomas Tuchel. Only once have they conceded 3 goals away from home before under his time in charge, and that was away at West Ham last season. This has been a special performance by Leeds United. Over 36,000 inside Ellen Road to enjoy it, to savour it.
They've been at it right from the first whistle.
Hungry for more. Shoulder to shoulder the verdict from Stuart Atwell for that coming together between James and Harrison. Well, the end of last season, most of last season here was angsty. The fans never able to fully relax in any win. And there was a fight for survival, wasn't it? This is different.
Yeah. They didn't have any wins like this. This has just been, like I said, perfection, almost perfection from Leeds United. And if you'd have told any Leeds United fan that they're going to a game at home against Chelsea without Calvin Phillips, Rafinha and Patrick Bamford and win 3-0, even the most diehard wouldn't have believed you. And that's how far Jesse Marsch has brought this group.
Just look at that last season, you alluded to it a little earlier on. No joy at all, just pain. That's changed. That's changed big time.
Yeah.
There's all the achievements under Marcelo Bielsa, the first season back behind closed doors here because of COVID. A standout win, I suppose, for Leeds United, do you think, when they won with 10 men at the Etihad Stadium? This will be right up there since their return to the Premier League, and it may just get better.
It's one of those, isn't it? You go back to that win, and it was sort of attack v defence for the most part, wasn't it? And then Leeds breaking whenever they could. This is different. This has been a dominant performance from Leeds United against one of those top 6 clubs that you're talking about.
Mount. Mount shot blocked by Christensen. Strap there. Determined to keep the clean sheet. He was the judge to have fouled Pascal Struck anyway.
Well, that's what Jesse March will want now. Clean sheet, brilliant defending, brave defending. Probably knew he was going to take a hit there. Pascal Struck.
Quite a sensation in part 1 of Super Sunday this week. Don't forget, we still have the champions in action next. They go to Newcastle United. There's part 2, Newcastle United unchanged. Couple of changes for Manchester City. You'll see the team news coming across the bottom of your screen shortly. John Stones and Bernardo Silva so linked with a move away from Manchester City, both coming in for the champions.
And Sterling in the middle. Yep.
It's got to the point now where the remaining quarter of an hour or so can be used by Thomas Tuchel just to get some football in the legs of those who haven't had much. Ben Chilwell comes into that category. He's going to come on in a moment. Concern over the state of Pascal Struck after that collision with Christian Pulisic a moment ago. Mason Mount off to facilitate the introduction of Ben Chilwell. I think what we're going to get to see here from Chelsea in the closing minutes is this experiment, if you like, or the first look at how many people think Chelsea will line up going forward, with Cucurella on the left side of the back three, Koulibaly on the right, Thiago Silva in the centre, Reece James and Ben Chilwell as the wing-backs. Often hear it spoken about, Don, needing to work for the right to play your football, and look at that, over 10 kilometres, over 10k between the work rate put in by Leeds United and Chelsea.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because Manchester United, when they lost 4 against Brentford, that was what they were criticised for. It was suggested that they hadn't worked as hard as Brentford. Doesn't always mean that.
Nah, just to see how my mum was, because my mum's a bit stressed out because all that dad's doing now is constantly effing and blinding.
Significant than that, probably the amount of sprints. I mean, that is off the scale from Leeds United.
Oh my god, someone tried to do a quick free kick and it just went up Gumpy Tongue.
Yes, on that trusty left, but again Adams is in the right place at the right time.
Really protected Ilan Meslier. 2 saves, the Leeds United goalkeeper has been
The only the only difference between me and another, I know that I can bottle it in, and I'm annoyed, but I just won't speak it out because it's being nice to people.
A lot of the Leeds United fans looking
Be-
at the start of this season going,
Yeah.
okay, we won here against a Wolves side that were far from at
Yeah.
last and undergoing a rebuild themselves. Southampton got a good win yesterday. Signalled out as a side that would struggle this season.
Yeah, because some might say it's a very rubbish.
And the work he's put in,
Yeah.
the rebuild he's done for Leeds
Yeah.
over the summer, and flying colours, I think, spring to mind.
Yeah. So.
After last week's performance against Spurs
Yeah,
and
some,
Chelsea.
and you might have some that might go, this has been an embarrassing performance. Some might go, we've lost, but they go, we're only 4 games into the season. There's no need to get worried yet. If we were at the halfway point and this happened, you can go, yes, we can start to worry. There'll be some, there's,
Early days in this Premier League season, but it has been chock full.
and at the moment,
Right up there.
and yeah, it's, and I'm one of them that says it's 4. I'm annoyed, but I'm just going. No, knowing us, we'll go into the next game and we'll play a lot better, we'll just know we will. So we're playing the team that's even worse.
Was called in to start that do or die game against Brentford at the end of last season. We'll come on to finish this one.
Because next game, I wouldn't even be surprised if we lose that, and that's against Leicester, who cannot seem to buy a win if they try. And also, they're conceding goals at a rate of knots.
Loftus-Cheek.
And how is that not a foul?
Raheem Sterling now for Chelsea. Very much in consolation territory, you feel. Chilwell. Stroke away. Ziyech. Into Havertz. And even Sterling with the follow-up couldn't finish, although both were offside. That sort of sums it all up for Chelsea, really.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. But it's a super strike from Ziyech. This is travelling. The fact that it hits his own teammate. I'd love to see the angle from behind the goal, whether that was on target or not.
Ellen Rose rises to its feet to salute a wonderful contribution from Jack Harrison. Surely up there, Don, when you come to contemplate your player of the match. I won't try and preempt it, but the Leeds fans certainly having their say there. A warm embrace from Jesse Marsh, who's getting the very best from his number 11 at the start of this season. Already a firm favourite. Brendan Aronson replaced by Sam Greenwood. And Rodrigo's races run. Another goal and an assist for him today. Fist bump to the crowd.
If they don't enjoy that, those Leeds United players, they won't enjoy anything in football ever again. Brilliant reception, well deserved.
Reece James.
What's he done this time? Is it a base? Is it just for like a challenge that you would know every player would make? Oh, apparently the challenge was crazy. So basically, we've been done over again. So you know what this is going to mean? Cucurella's going to have to slot into centre back. But also he also bought Cucurella to go into centre back as well, because he's an actual centre back. Nah, that's not a sending off.
for Kalidou Koulibaly. And it goes from bad to worse for Chelsea.
That is not a sending off.
They've lost the match. And now they've lost their number 26, Koulibaly off.
Well, I describe Edouard Mendy's decision to try and dribble his way out of trouble.
I don't see that as a foul.
This is up there, really. You're on a yellow card. Why on earth would you do that? It's just madness.
But the one thing,
You said moments ago
yeah.
that Ziyech's strike that hit his own player summed it up. That sums it up.
But you want to know what's weird? You see a lot of players at other clubs do challenges like that, and they don't get a sending off. And also, we are. His name's called Wesley Fofana. He wanted to come for the last month, but Leicester City are saying that they don't want to sell him, but he wants to come.
Ziyech.
Wesley Fofana.
And the call came from Melia, but he wasn't going to take a chance earlier on.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what?
New look back line.
Yeah.
Lasted long with the departure of Koulibaly prematurely, so Cesar Azpilicueta's
You
going
know,
to be
yeah.
sent on to shore things up and avoid any further embarrassment.
One thing I would have said, why couldn't they have done it before they sent it off and took Koulibaly off and put Azpilicueta there?
To the scenario, it would have looked something like this.
Absolutely.
Forshaw losing out and a little bit of luck.
But also, that challenge that he did to get sent off, you see a lot of defenders doing it in the Premier League. But why does it take a Chelsea player to do it to get someone sent off, when you see other defenders doing it and they never get booked or sent off for it?
Here we are. Simply hasn't happened.
So it shows that anything our players do is either a foul, yellow card or a red card. And that's 2 games running. Because I'll bet Thomas Tuchel will say that's not a red card.
Recognisable, and Thomas Tuchel, as he mulls over what he's seen here, the wreckage of Chelsea's performance here, will, I'm sure, contemplate that this is one of his worst Premier League away days since he's been in charge. One man's pain is another man's elation. Llorente, flipped on by Koch. And this is certainly a high water mark for Jesse.
At the moment, I'm not getting too carried away. Fucking
Here at Leeds United. Look at the watch.
yeah.
Desperate for that clean sheet now. That would be the icing on the cake.
Greenwood almost through to the on-rushing Gelhardt. James couldn't get away from Greenwood. Here comes Struck.
It's like a throwback, isn't it? The old days, challenges like that, almost as loud a cheer as goals. They are loving it.
And there we go. The great man. I would have been proud of this Leeds United performance. The stand that bears his name, the one that Chelsea were attacking in the second half. They've got no joy. The joy very much in the air around this part of West Yorkshire this Sunday afternoon.
Fixtures coming their way as well. Some fixtures that you would expect, if they can perform like this, to get a fair amount of points out of.
It's often said, isn't it, Don, you don't really look at the table in any meaningful way until there are 5 or 6 games played. I think Leeds fans might be. They're in the Champions League positions, Don.
Except my mum likes it. Or I take my mum wants him to do it the way that I do it. Just try and keep it bottled in and just forget about it and just focus on the next one. And that's what I tend to do, because it's not nice on my mum's. Yeah, and also I don't tend to get angry because I know how it affects mum, so I do it for her sake. Don't go off on one. Yeah. He needs it after that, mum. I'm saying Dad needs it after that. How is he, mum? Yeah, they're going up to a friend's house because I think my mum said to him, "Why don't you go up to a friend's house? You can go and talk to him, and you can forget all about this." See, that always does help. And you know what? But yeah, but you know what's even. But what's even weird? What's even weird? You can go talk about something else, because the friend who he's got he's a rugby fan more, and he's not. He calls football fairy ball. So he. Because it shows that there's a conspiracy in the refereeing and linesman union, that they just say every time you play Chelsea you don't give them anything.
I hope that he will also acknowledge how brilliant the opposition have been, because that has been a massive part of the ingredients here.
Thomas Tuchel learning the hard way. He wishes he wasn't on the touchline today at close quarters to see what his side have produced.
It looks like his arm's out. Tuchel's not happy.
More written reasons on the way to SW6. Thomas Tuchel loses his cool.
He's lost his cool over that challenge. It's a challenge that if his team weren't losing 3-0, he wouldn't be losing his cool over, really.
Here's Chilwell. Ziyech. Under a minute for Leeds to hold on. The first clean sheet here since last November. Ziyech. Looking to caress it to Havertz, who in his eagerness to win the ball has given away the free kick.
He's embraced this city, hasn't he? Moved his family here, his kids go to school here.
They might just embrace him back after this.
I think they might. I think they might.
A message to the rest of the Premier League, perhaps. Beware the side of March. This affection meet against Chelsea, dripping with history and tradition. And Jesse Marsh's side here this afternoon have produced a performance for the
Full time. Chelsea 0. Leeds 3. Wow.
And Edouard Mendy gave them a helping hand in the first half, but Aronson taking full advantage of the ponderous bit of play from the Chelsea goalkeeper. 5 minutes later, Rodrigo.
You can literally see now the players are acting that they look like they're down on their knees.
He might have been contemplating a comeback. Player of the match, Jack Harrison, with his first goal since he preserved Leeds United's Premier League status on the final day of last season. As if it couldn't get much worse for Chelsea, it did. Kalidou Koulibaly
Yeah, but as you said, it's a triple, and the one you see unlikely to happen is Man City ain't going to lose to Newcastle. No way.
Leeds United 3, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, it's not just a win for Leeds United. Chelsea have been comprehensively beaten
And
at Ellen Road, down to
and Chelsea, one thing I will say is, if any of you don't go and clap that support that have gone and sat through that, who pay God and money to go and watch that, go and show your appreciation for them, because they've sat through all that. And those fans deserve credit who have gone up to support you, even though you played shite. That shows how good our fan base is. Wingles or draw, rubbish or not, our fan base will go out anywhere. And that's why... That's not going to do it. Wow. And, oh guys, I'll see you in a little... Not long... for Napoli's first home game of the season versus Monza in Serie A. Like, subscribe to the notification boards. Go on, peace. I hope that 3 games gonna be good, because I don't know who's gonna be playing, but we'll wait and